And we are live
What's up?
in the new year.
Good afternoon. Yeah, 2019.
It was New Year's Eve last time.
Yeah, it was the day of. I actually got in. I'm trying to think. Yeah, no, never mind. I had a terrible end to my year, like right before midnight.
What?
I can't even talk about it actually, but some negativity. I had a great show on New Year's Eve, and then there's a little bit of like weird drama after that, like with some stuff from the audience, and it was like put me in a bad mood. But then I drove right back to Boston.
Smart.
Celebrated midnight in the car like I've done several times in my life as a comedian.
Yeah.
Always fun to do. This year, though, didn't feel like at all like it normally does. Normally, it's great to be on the road at midnight because you're like the only one on the road.
Yeah.
This year, it just was like any other night.
Just
There
a
were
regular.
Tons of people out. People didn't really get into New Year's this year. The weather
That's how I always do it. It's a regular day.
It rained a lot this year. But anyway, I was like, I was thinking to myself, like, man, this is like not the way to bring in the year. I'm cranky. Then I went right to my GF's house, and we hadn't seen each other 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about
We
that.
made sweet love to each other, and then she got her period. And then she got her period the next morning. So it was like,
That's like,
we didn't know if we were gonna get that in before the period.
also, it's a gift.
It's a gift as well. Yeah, both things. The period is always good. I'll never be upset about.
To start a new year.
But we were kind of talking about like, man, we haven't seen each other for weeks, and you're gonna get back and be on your period like right
Oh,
away.
yeah.
So it'll be like great to
Yeah.
see each other. We won't be able to like do anything. I mean, we could, but it's a whole other bag of bloody grapes.
Grapes.
But it's just what I chose, bag of grapes. But but anyway, we got one in right before that happened, and so I feel like that was a great way to just kick off 2019.
Yeah.
Relationship, sex to start the year. So I was kind of down at first, but then I realized, hey, I got an hour. So I just got it in. It was like 2018
Yeah.
had one last kick in the dick for me,
Yeah.
but then off and running.
And it's arbitrary. You didn't make the calendar
It's
up.
arbitrary, but it's not.
You didn't make it
It's
up.
arbitrary, but it's not. Yeah, I've been thinking about this a lot. I'm thinking about this quite a bit. Arbitrary, but it's not, because, it is arbitrary in the sense of
The man
it's just
made
the
it.
day, man made it. But I picked October 1st to quit smoking cigarettes. October 1st,
Yeah.
2017. I think, right? I think it was 2017, right?
It had to have been.
Yeah,
right?
because it was a full year in 2018. So yeah.
It feels like 10 years ago.
October 1st, 2017, I quit smoking. Now, that's an arbitrary man-made day.
Yeah.
We're all just beings living in a world. But
No, but
that
you're
was
right.
like,
You're
that
right.
day had significant. It was Sober October. That guy
Yeah.
Vance lost all that weight. Bert Kreischer.
Yeah.
It was like, it had significance. So it's like they have
You
significance.
do need something.
If you
Yeah.
give them significance.
That's true.
I get into the new year. Starting comedy for me was like a New Year's resolution.
All right.
I'm
That's
one
a
of-
lot of people's, right?
Yeah. I'm one of
It's
those.
almost like a workout thing.
It is. There's a big boom of new people in the new
Yeah.
year, but that like used to be more of a thing. Now there's just a lot of new people all the time.
All the time.
But that used to be like
Netflix, man.
It used to be the time people would join in. But anyway, the show we're doing right now is exciting, and people are getting kind of excited about it. Starting to creep into.
Seeping in.
Seep it in, because we haven't really been like advertising or doing anything
No,
big.
no. So we weren't really ready. I think we're like actually
Yeah, we're
base
like
level ready
we're
now.
like slow rolling it out. And but I was just as you and me were talking about how we want to do the show and like
Yeah.
what we want it to be, and we are gonna have guests and stuff. That's like a thing we can do now.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was thinking like it will be nice to have people here, but it's great to be able to have like this huge screen in front of us, right? That we have here.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
could Skype in like.
Oh,
It's so much
100%.
easier to get
We can definitely do that.
cool guests.
Yeah, we can-
like.
It's set up for that now.
People have
to
no
do
problem
it.
Skyping for
Yeah.
20 minutes to a half hour. To
Yeah.
go somewhere, get at park, and especially around here, that's like something people
I like
don't
that
wanna
idea
do.
too.
So we get a lot of cool guests to Skype in. But like we were just talking about like what we want to do and like what we want the show to be like. And I've been listening to a lot of shows for years and doing my thing.
Yeah.
And I go on a lot of shows, and I'm just like, we were just talking about how we're sick of like
The same.
the same.
That's what it feels like to me.
It just feels like that's like what I talk about. Like the same way a politician has like their points on like the environment and child raising and like
Will, what is
education.
the state of comedy today?
Yeah, it's like I always have to have like some talking points ready about like state of comedy and political correctness and everything. So we were kind of talking about what we don't want this show to be, which is I have no problem. Like I like going on Kumia and kind of getting cranky with him and talking about like comedy sometimes, but we don't always do that, you know?
No.
He knows how to like sprinkle that in. But sometimes nowadays I feel like a comedian my age, me, it's just so easy to go right
It's almost
there.
Low-hanging fruit.
It kind of has become low-hanging fruit.
It's almost like what people were doing it with just Trump jokes for a little while. It's like, oh, great. His hair's bad.
And exactly. And I realized kind of in this new year, 2019, like, if I'm sick of it, I shouldn't be putting more of it out.
Exactly.
And
it's already it's stated. We all get it.
Yeah, we all get it. We all know what it is. But it's also kind of like you're just fucking feeding into it kind of when you every time you fight a social justice chick,
100%.
you're just giving her like you're paying her hourly wage.
You're filling her blog.
Yeah, you know. It's just a waste. So I don't. At the same time, like I think some people who are good at breaking it, like Andrew Schultz is a friend of mine, so good at kind of breaking that kind of stuff
There's
down.
plenty of it's neither of us.
The Legion of Skanks,
Yeah.
those guys like kill me with like the stuff they say. It's so funny. And Schultz too, like he blows my mind. I think there's just so many people out there doing that well that like for us to try, it's almost like fake because that's not something we like to talk about in our free time.
No.
So I was kind of like, you know, we had talked amongst ourselves how we wanted to do the show, but I was like, you know, thinking today, I was like, we need to let people know that that's what we're not doing.
Maybe that's a good
on
idea.
this show.
So like a full mission
Like
statement.
not just we're gonna try not to, because I've kind of done that on my own podcast a lot.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
and then
try
you just
not
do
to,
it anyway.
I'm gonna try not to be negative. I'm gonna try not to bitch, and then it's just like that's kind of what this podcast is. So here it comes.
And we can
But-
still bitch, but there's enough of
enough other
enough
stuff
of
out
that
there.
political correctness, politics. There's enough. There's enough people
I
playing
made
those.
I made this kind of pinkish in color just to add to like the fact that I'm not afraid to be called a fag. For trying to be, it's not even that I'm trying to be positive because we will be negative on this show.
Yeah.
It's just that I just don't want to get into that. It's almost just a cycle, and it just goes into this.
If we figure out something new to say, maybe we'll say something.
Yeah,
but that's not.
It's not gonna happen. But I've been listening to this is like a little bit of a confession. I've been listening to this guy the Bobby Bones Show.
I've never heard
It's
of it.
the lightest. It's a podcast. They do a podcast version of a national radio show. So they like boil a
right.
4-hour show
I like
down
that.
to an hour.
Yeah.
But it's light, you know.
Yeah.
But it's
like elevator
it's
music.
like every one of those morning shows. You know, it's you got him. He's got like a sidekick named Amy and another sidekick named like Lunchbox and.
And Lunchbox is wacky.
Lunchbox is wacky. He's always like, Mommy, I don't know.
He's
Like,
like a
I
little
don't know.
lazy.
Like, Lunchbox, you don't know. And Amy's just like, kind of like the voice of reason sometimes.
Yeah, she really holds the show
but
together.
also, like, kind of like builds Bobby up when he needs it.
Yeah.
But I've been listening to it for like a couple weeks on my way to gigs.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I was kind of like, man, I should be listening to like what other people are listening to when they go to work, when I'm on my way to work.
Yeah,
'Cause that
yeah.
way. That's what like makes people happy. I've kind of like reached the point in my life where I'm stopped trying to go against the grain all the time, and I'm like maybe
Maybe
all
the
these
grain's
happy
okay.
people around me know something that I don't know. I've totally gone the other way where I'm like maybe listening to stuff that you're supposed to listen to on the way to work is actually good for you on the way to work. And
It
that's
might
what
be.
so I was listening to it, and they do this thing on there. They do one segment called like Tell Me Something Good, where they just have like a good news story. And I was like, man, this mixed in with them just being like, hey, Amy, I'm thinking about eating less fiber. Less fiber. I'm like, this is actually what I really love. Like what I wanted.
That's probably actually what it sounds like when we hang out too. More so.
Exactly. What I wanted hypothetically to be was like, man, I'm thinking about getting a new credit card, but I don't know. You know, I just like those minor,
Yeah.
like little decisions in life.
It's Seinfeld.
Yeah, Seinfeld type stuff. And somehow we've all become like, I need to solve all the world's problems.
Yeah, something
in the
weird
next
happened.
sentence.
Coney 2012. I feel like that's
Ooh, that's a great point.
That's what it
That was the
started.
beginning. It just was like, it felt good.
yeah.
It just felt good to put that out there. So this is kind of like a slightly grandiose thing, but I think mission statements are good. Companies do them. They keep you in check.
Yeah.
They keep us in check.
You just get to see it.
So
no more Israel talk.
But no more Israel talk. But I was actually surprised. I only put this out maybe an hour ago, and I was shocked at how many people right away were like, I wish I could like this over and over.
So many people are. I mean, there's the left and there's the right and there's everyone in the middle who's sick of everything.
Everything. I think that's a majority.
Yeah.
And politics of all forms includes racial politics, sexual politics, bathrooms, all that stuff. Social justice also.
Yeah.
How bad it is, we won't be discussing. And political correctness killing comedy, that's the number one.
No, it's we already said it.
I've already given an interview on that, which I'm like waiting. This is like part of being a comedian no one knows about. I gave an interview against my better judgment maybe like 4 or 5 days ago, and I've just been waiting for it to come out. I'm pretty sure it's probably going to be like a hit piece. Because like I've read her other work. I'm just like,
did you read it before?
I did, but I
still did it.
I was like, because of the topic was Louis C.K. and what I mainly wanted to like. I was like, I'm a coward if I don't say you shouldn't record us like while we're working bits out. You know, I'm not. I wasn't even trying to.
I don't love it.
I wasn't trying to discuss with her that, you know, comedy needs to be saved and like there's value in all this. I really just was trying to put across like, hey, I'm not even the biggest Louis C.K. fan. But you can't like make a national story out of like a guy trying to work out a bit. That's his style of comedy is being shocking, but
I liked it.
But letting you, it's shocking, and then he dials it. Yeah, he's trying to get. It's a style. It's not.
It's 100% a style. That's the problem I think people have with stand-up, and then we're done.
I know we're doing it right now. See how easy it is?
But there should be genres. Like you have music, you have rock music. There should be genres of stand-up and not just stand-up.
There are, too.
Well, there is, but it really just gets lumped.
It's also not important. It's just as important as a song, whereas it can be meaningful to you or it can be not meaningful to you.
Super
it can
easy.
be something you brush your teeth to, or it can be something you like play for your child and like really want them to hear. It can be anything, but people are acting like now that it needs to be important, which I don't agree with.
No.
So enough of all that. We will be talking about sometimes probably like
it's gonna bleed in no matter what.
Bleed in
but if we just make an effort to not do it,
and we need you, the viewer and listener, to keep us on point as well. But I do. I was kind of surprised right away that this is getting positive feedback.
I get it though, because people are just.
I get it too. I think it's and I also kind of didn't want to insult all the shows I go on.
Well, you're not though.
I do.
Because there is a place for it. Someone should be doing it.
Joe Rogan does it very well. Kumia does it very well. The Legion of Skanks do it very well.
And then there's plenty of people who do it real bad and mediocre too.
Thousands, and we don't want to be that either. You know, you don't.
There's no point to.
Yeah, and it's honest to God, I've caught myself in the past. This is also just self-protection because, like, in the past 6 months. I've just caught myself sort of talking out of my ass on different shows.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
Risk reward is not correct.
Yeah, and you don't do it. I'm in the business of talking out of my ass.
Yeah.
Doesn't really bother me when it's food and dating and other things. But when it comes into these hot topics now that people are so upset about, and I'm still expected to be kind of funny, it's too much of a fucking
it's a minefield.
Tightrope. So that's what we're doing. Let's get into let's get into a kind of thing we're gonna be doing on this show, which is sort of science and sports. And
is that where are we going first? We're going straight science. We're going straight
there
sports.
was one actually on the list that I really wanted to do first.
Okay.
I think it was towards the bottom.
Was it my list or yours?
It was your list.
Okay. Was it a cool video?
Can we just glance at it?
Let's just go. Let's just go through.
Fuck this, like
Fatberg.
No, I know about Fatberg. Nope. Nope.
It's like a preview too. I like this.
Yeah, so stuff we have.
Karate Guy?
That was good. I saw the yeah, I think it was I guess it was licking the doorbell.
Yeah. Let's start.
Yeah, what's all this?
This video also comes up when you're typing how to eat.
How to what? How to eat puss?
That's what I was gonna say.
Were you like not quite sure?
I don't know. Yeah, I wasn't sure if I should do that.
Just go for it, man. It's not political. It's not social justice. What is up with this though?
Well, the whole story is they're probably telling it what they're reading. Why aren't we hearing it? Is it? I don't think there's.
Yeah, for the people who are just on the podcast version, I thought there was a lot of. So this is one of those cool internet videos.
Yeah.
That you hear so much about.
So what it is this woman, she got an alert on her phone, and there was a lot of activity at her door, and she wasn't really sure what was going on. They just got this little security cam thing, so she checks it, and then this is what she finds: a man licking their doorbell for about 30. I think they said 30 minutes.
Dude, people are.
It might have been 3 hours. I'm not even joking.
All right, so see, here's a guy who's not worried about Trump or politics or social justice. He's out there doing his thing. Now, here's the discussion here.
Yeah.
First of all, he's right in that camera.
Yeah,
Like,
right
does he
in his
not
face.
even? Does he want to be seen? Because it seems like he does. Then he turns his head to it. 3 hours. That's 3 hours combined. Oh, he peed there? I mean, this guy's insane, you know?
Yeah, completely insane.
Look at those eyes. But someone's taking care of him. That's like a good haircut and a good
little tracksuit going.
I mean, like he's clean cut.
Like there's a woman out there that can save him.
There's probably a woman who loves this guy. If he can lick a doorbell for 3 hours.
That's what I'm saying, man. Ding dong.
Imagine what he can do to a pussy.
Ding dong. I like that though.
Germ wise, he's getting every UPS driver's germs.
Yeah. It might be like a good move though.
That might be his fetish.
Yeah.
He's like, I once licked a wall in a downtown Boston Chinatown station for like $10.
Wow, that's a Bart Simpson thing.
I was like 15. I licked the subway wall for a bet.
Jesus.
Is that us? Did we go off the air? Or is that just because we're watching this? I just got distracted.
Very good. We got some comments if you want.
Oh yeah, let's hear. I did say we'd be checking.
Matt Horn. Oh, he loves you on Kumia. One of his favorite guests. Here we go. Rob Saul show. Any sex to start the year would be good for him.
Oh yeah, Rob Saul. Shout out to Rob Saul. He's retweeted us, and that's a big retweet because Rob does his own show. That's
very cool.
Sort of like this, and sort of like Kumia's show. I think he's probably gonna like be on Kumia's network one day, like doing his own thing if he keeps it up, because he's like a guest on some of the shows, and he's good at his show's good. Like when I go on it, I really dig it because it's kind of like I was kind of explaining it to someone as like Walking Dead for the Kumia show. Like you go
That's
on
amazing.
there,
I love that.
or Talking Dead, you know?
Yeah.
Like you go on there and you kind of like talk about times you were on the Kumia show, and then it goes to and he has commercials and sketches with like bits with like Kumia's cat. Like, they have an animated Kumia cat, and
I love that.
So Rob's a good dude, and but I've been on his ass kind of because he hasn't had sex in 3 years, and I'm like, he talks about it. I'm just like, that's like way too long.
Yeah,
that's like I think after 2 years you're allowed to start looking into sex workers.
Oh yeah,
as an option,
100%.
You know,
that's the next thing that's going to drop. It's psilocybin legalization and then prostitution.
Well, I don't.
It's hair, man.
Let's talk about prostitution for one sec, because there's prostitution. The thing that sucks about prostitution, I think, is that there's the guys who probably could have sex with women, who just won't, and they'll go out.
Yeah.
I don't think that's great for society, but I do think
maybe not. I do
think. There was a time in my life where it's like you can be so depressed that you just can't go out and like, you know, I've never been a prostitute guy, but I have done it twice, blowjobs, you know,
I didn't know that. That's so...
but it was like condom blowjob. It's like barely worth the money, but I will say this,
barely worth the money.
The second time I did it, I got a girlfriend like a month or two later.
So like fix something.
It like fixes something in a
get that.
Men are fucking like
there was like almost like a utilitarian reason.
Practical thing.
Yeah.
It was like I needed to like
empty balls.
Go get a practice. Yeah, I need to go like hit some at the range.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think it should be legal for a whole different reason, because it's just anything in the black market is black. It gets dark. Like
Well, that's
for
the
like
thing.
from the
in
woman.
the arts, so I can kind of. I had friends that I could reach out to.
Yeah.
It was like you can kind of get like that's what I'm saying. If there was legal prostitution, there would be prostitutes out there who like specialize in, hey, are you like fat and like haven't had sex with a woman in 4 years and like you're afraid?
Or they charge by the pound or something.
Charge by the pound. But I think, it's kind of fucked up. This is like we're getting way out there, and this is just theory talk. But like, imagine a guy, these like shooters, these like mass shooters, these incel guys.
I don't buy this. What you're gonna say?
Imagine if one of them could just like get a nut once in a while.
I just think those guys are nuts and too far gone.
I agree. But
I like the base premise of what you're saying. I agree with.
I don't mean the guys who drive. They're actually shoot and drive their cars.
You're saying someone,
they're fans.
Someone who just needs like a release, a literal
those
release.
4chan dudes. Like, would they be so into anime if they had?
Yeah, would you
in their
obsessed?
life?
Yeah,
because that's the thing. I think people have just withdrawn farther and farther, and we continue to.
Yeah.
Like someone kind of
with the VR stuff, it's gonna get a lot worse.
It really is, man.
People are gonna lose their minds.
It seems to be the goal. I was saying that to someone when I was making a commercial for a book, which felt like one of the most natural things I've ever done a commercial for. But I was like, it's kind of funny because I was talking to like the advertising guys. I was like, everything seems to just be this push towards like autonomy.
Yeah.
Well, like, why is that the goal? What is
less personal interaction?
But
and
what
autonomy.
is so hard about like flipping? Like the example I always use is flipping a light switch is not.
Why
it's not harder than saying Alexa, turn off the lights. I feel
not
like
you, Alexa.
Don't you feel like saying that though?
I'm not sure.
Oh shit! Our first guest. But yeah, I'm crazy with stuff like that. It kind of like I don't know, but
not to like jump to stay on this topic though. I think prostitution should be legalized for a different reason because it's just when it's in a black market, it puts too many women in a bad position.
Oh yeah.
If it's regulated and legalized, like
pimping should still be
protects
illegal,
people. Yeah, that should be illegal.
Prostitution
100%
legal.
Should be illegal.
Pimping illegal. Yeah, that concept of it, that's the truth, And that was like that's why another reason why I only did it twice, and both times I did it, like the women were like in their 40s, but it was like none of that sat right with me, and I knew this last time I did it, which was like I don't know, it was probably more recent than people think. It was probably like 5 or 6 years ago. Like I was like. She was the boss.
She was the madam?
She was the madam, and that made me feel good.
Yeah.
But even then, I could talk myself into being like, this is not the life she wants.
Yeah,
This is not the career she
Nobody
chose.
probably... There's probably some people, but there's not a lot of
Not
people.
many.
There's not a lot, no.
I don't think there's many. I got the feeling, too, that this was like one of 3 jobs she probably has.
Yeah.
In my own defense of that story, though... I just thought I was gonna go get a legitimate massage hand job. That's all I wanted was the massage with the hand job. So I knew I was doing something kind of shady.
You said like a couple lines tonight that like a legitimate massage hand job.
Yeah,
I just want a legitimate massage
hand job, which is illegitimate, but that's all I expected.
Yeah,
and then.
I just think people, the shame attached to it is the weird part.
A lot of shame. For both people.
Yeah, but why? Why is it really there? It's some Catholic stuff, some Puritan stuff.
There's some Catholic and Puritan stuff, but that existed, I'm sure, even in like
I feel
those early days. I'm sure people were like, "You whore, you street whore," There's just something about I love my husband. That's who I have sex with.
Yeah, and everything's sacred. It's a Disney movie.
Yeah. I don't know. Let's do something else, though. I feel like we're getting a little too heavy-handed.
Solved it.
Solved it. Prostitution, legal. Pimps, illegal. Everyone just be nice. That's the mission statement.
Do you want to do some quick science stuff? There's a couple quick ones.
I don't know. Fatberg.
You want to do Fatberg first? Okay, so this has been going on for a while.
Yeah, this is a big... This doesn't surprise me, though. People are crazy about this. I'm like, have you ever cooked? Like, a lot of fat goes down the sewer.
And it's an ancient sewer system.
Everything in England is 1,000 years old.
But when you see it,
yeah,
it's something.
Nothing new to people who watch the show Dirty Jobs, though.
Yeah, exactly.
He did this in
show.
a few different cities.
Yeah, not just fat, but just going through the sewer and like moving.
Get those clogs, those
Yeah,
massive
yeah.
clogs. That's a job. I don't know. I'd
like to do it like a weekend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'd be so fucking interested in this for a weekend. But if that was my life.
There's a guy in New York you can pay who will take you on like a little tour
Little
of
tour?
the tunnels.
I would
and
actually
stuff.
like that.
Yeah, I did it. It was
That's
cool as
kinda
fuck.
awesome.
I did like the chicken shit. Like,
Yeah.
you can kind of still see the sun a lot of the time.
Not the Black Diamond one.
Yeah. He was like, yeah. It's a guy. New York's a cool town like that. You meet people, they're like, oh yeah, I also fly helicopter tours. You want one?
You want one right now?
Yeah. Let's go.
I had a cancellation.
But yeah, it doesn't shock me, I guess.
No, but what's the solution? That's the scary thing for me. Like, they're gonna have like little like coal miner children down there chipping away.
I don't know what breaks up fat, you know?
Like, heat is the best
Hot
thing.
water.
Yeah, that's literally like they just go in there and melt the fat. But what do you do with it after that?
Is it flammable? That's something too.
I bet you it is.
If it's flammable,
I bet you it fucking is.
That would be like an interesting natural disaster. Like, not only does that stuff catch fire, but it burns for 100 years.
Yeah, exactly. The fires of London.
You can see it from space. I'm gonna go visit the fires of London.
That'd be great. They should just do it.
Just light it up. The Thames River that goes through London is that interesting ecosystem of it's being made of mud.
Yeah.
So people go there every single day because every time the tide goes in and out, it brings in like antiques from 1,000 years ago.
That's amazing.
It also brings in trash from like yesterday, but it's like everything from all the years is constantly being regurgitated and like fucking
amazing.
shifted through there. So people go through the metal detectors and find amazing shit. There's a show I've been watching called Mud Men where the guys do that.
That sounds great.
But I remember seeing it used to be a job, like it used to be something kids did back in like the old days. Like they'd go down there and just like dig through the mud, try and find like little pieces of jewelry, little
metal and stuff,
and then take it
yeah.
out and like sell it and then live off that money.
Muckrakers.
Yeah, muck. That's probably
I don't know. I'm just making that up.
No, it's a fact now.
What?
That was cool.
Stay on like the shit topic. Rabbits who don't eat their own feces are small and weak.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
So what they did is
Fucking snowflakes.
Yeah. So what they did is they split up a couple of groups of rabbits and they allowed some of them to naturally eat their shit as they do, and others not to. And the ones who didn't were really, really scrawny and tiny.
Look at her. Look at the author of this, Chelsea White. You see that? People who spell white like that know rabbits.
For real though.
That is like, I'm part fairy, and I can tell you about rabbits.
White. No, but it's kind of interesting though. Like it just shows you how the structure of their stomach works. It's not that good.
You ever read Watership Down?
Yeah, I like it. There's
Probably one of my
there's
top
a
three.
Netflix thing they did recently.
I was just gonna see. This is my life viewer. I try and tell Paul something. He already knows. I'm a big Watership Down is probably one of my top 3 books of all time. It's always the book I recommend to someone who tells me that they're not a reader.
Yeah.
Someone will be like, I don't read. I don't like books. Do you recommend something for a person like that? I don't like to read. I'm like, read Watership Down. It's so good. And it's one book, you know. It's not like Harry fucking Potter, who I love, but it's a journey.
I like every single book I read, but I'm always like, I don't want to get into a book. It's like, it just seems like a task. I'm like, I gotta do another thing.
Self-help books are good like that because they're so broken up that it's you finish them quick and you feel like, wow, I completed that task.
Yeah.
But they're just a lot of blank space in a self-help book. That's to fill with your own with yourself. But yeah, I saw that new thing on Netflix and it made me.
It looked good too. I didn't see it, but it looked
out
nice.
loud. Oh my!
Yeah,
because I was like,
yeah.
Do I really? Because the original animated Watership Down is quite good as well.
Very good. Yeah.
But the book is really the best.
It reminds me of The Hobbit. Those animated movies.
Yeah,
It's like similar animation.
similar style, hand drawn. I will check out this one though. James McAvoy, who's in like everything.
Is that you always know who's in stuff? I like that.
Yeah.
I never know.
I'm obsessed.
Yeah, I never know anybody.
Well, it matters to me.
Yeah, exactly.
It matters to me big
Exactly.
time on whether or not. I was just saying. I was thinking to myself this morning. I'm seeing an equality in film racial equality. I know this is politics, but it's kind of not because I'm talking about acting.
Yeah.
Like, there's black guys now are getting the roles white guys used to get that like white guys shouldn't have got either. Like that's what I'm saying. Like like True Detective is coming out and there's like a black guy on it, and I'm like, this is what I'm talking about, like for equality, because this is like a black guy playing a cop.
It's good.
And it's like he's a good actor.
It's not about just, hey, here's a black guy.
And there's no reason for him to be black or not be black.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just, so that's like the kind of like where I'm like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, because that could have been a white guy, could have been a black guy. It's just like one of those parts a lot of actors could play.
Could have had.
So I was kind of like, that's good.
That's real. That's real diversity.
That's real diversity because that's the thing. It should be kind of just like like the real world where you're just like, my doctor is what race? Like you don't care. Exactly. You notice, but you don't care. You know.
Well, for doctor, I got some picks, but
what are your picks? Some people do have picks.
I go Indian, Asian woman.
I really don't care. I actually get more into age than I do race.
Your age.
I'm like, I like an older doctor.
So much shit has changed though. So
not like old. That's the thing.
You want to hit like 42, 45.
See, I'm like even more like 50. I like the kind of. I like it when they've been there, done that. Like when my dad had his heart attack. This guy came in who was like,
heart's probably good. That's probably a good one to have an older dude.
This guy, his surgeon was old. Like he was like my dad's age, but the guy who kind of told us what was up in the first stages. This guy came in. He was like a TV doctor. He was like had like the 5 o'clock shadow, even though he was like clean shaven, had that blue.
He figured it out.
The blue face.
Yeah.
And then he had like the hair thing on, and he was just like a little hairy, probably like a Jewish dude. You know?
Just enough, though.
Just enough like kind of body hair peeking out. And I remember saying to him, "What would you do like if this was your family member?" That's that's all you really gotta
everybody
ask.
Says. Yeah.
That's what all you should say.
Yeah.
And he was like, "I'd do it," and I was like, "Fucking hey, like let's go."
That's all you can do. Like,
I also love like the doctor who's been through 5 years of medical school. Here's like your two options.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you guys think? It's like, well, we're a fucking comedian, a lawyer, and a retired school teacher.
Exactly.
We don't know.
It's like, can you give me 20 minutes to look up how a heart works?
20 minutes, yeah. Hey Siri, what do I do?
No, like here, sign all this stuff.
I also did in the fog of it all. I like texted
That's the word.
I texted like the most important person I know. I was like, "Do you know any good doctors in Boston?" Like, you're just like
anything
you're
at that,
crazy,
grasping at straws. Yeah,
yeah.
It's like a car wreck.
Yeah, and then of course, then you're like, it's in motion, and you really can't go wrong in Boston.
No, we're in a great place.
Yeah,
especially for things like that, like heart surgery.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah,
it's like I've been making fun of
Cancer
a lot
treatments.
of my parents' friends are selling their houses and moving to Florida and Maine.
Yeah,
I'm like, why are you at the age you're most likely to have a heart attack moving away from Boston?
Yeah,
crazy to me.
Yeah,
crazy. It's your life.
Yeah,
it's the difference between being alive and being dead, especially the people who are going to Maine. I'm like,
I don't know. I think Florida might be worse.
I don't know though. Florida's filled with old people, so they got to have a few good heart doctors down there.
You're right. You're right.
Just for the sake of it's good business.
Yeah.
There's guys down there who are like cha-chang, cha-chang, cha-chang. Plus the heart stuff. But yeah, I don't know. Also faces.
Yeah. I thought that was funny too.
This whole thing is written in like fairy language.
But maybe it's new scientists. So it's not like a.
I was just like a rabbit. The way my attention just shifted right back to this. But I enjoy rabbits, and I think their shit is probably edible. Like I used to see rabbit and deer shit a lot when I was hiking a lot, and I used to think if I were lost, I would probably eat that,
eat some scat,
and get something out of it because there's.
Well, that's what's going on. Like they're just not efficient, so they're not processing enough nutrients. So there's tons of nutrients in their shit. So that's the only way they can get.
That's how deer and rabbit are. They have to like constantly eat.
Yeah, it's interesting. But
animals that eat grass and like leaves, I know I was reading an article once about how like the koala bear is like one of the shittiest designed animals.
Oh yeah,
it needs to eat so
constantly.
Much. It only eats one thing, and the one thing it eats is barely nutritious, so it has to eat so much of that one thing.
But it's poisonous to most people. That's that's why I keyed in on that. Like
but it's also slightly poisonous to them too.
Yeah.
Which is also weird. What else we got?
Another science.
Let's do one of Linda's because
see that.
I gotta give this chick. She You see all these like tags?
Yeah.
She's sending all of these videos. She does this every day.
So she's programming everybody's show.
She's programming. She sends E-Rock, Dave Landau, Kumian, Mark Norman, Colin Quinn. She's sending everyone, the Louis J. Gomez from Legion of Skanks, who had a great tweet the other day. She's sending everyone like these clips. And I was like, this is actually perfect, Linda Miller, because I don't... I'm trying not to look at Reddit anymore.
Oh, yeah, so you need something like this.
Also,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure Linda Miller, if I'm not wrong, has done a little stand-up comedy herself, because she looks very familiar to me from some headshots I've seen around of a Linda Miller in some clubs in Connecticut and stuff. So I don't know if that's her. Maybe she's kind of like taking a step back to raise her kids or whatever, but I want to thank her because she sends me a lot of good stuff, and
I like this one too.
It's honestly not bad.
Yeah, this is a good one.
This is a good one. So let's check it out. Someone on Twitter, by the way, tell Linda that we love her. I don't think she's watching. Dude, this dude. This dude.
This is a little old. This is a good one.
This one is so like, that's a, your car's fucking, see, all right. So, did you see the fire hydrant?
Yeah, yeah.
Look at that fire hydrant, man.
Let's see if I can get it.
Do you think that's a break, that the fire hydrant's built to do that?
I don't know.
It looks...
I just think it's like just bolts, like at that point, so it's not, there's not too much.
He's lucky then he hit that and not like a house or a person.
Or he's even lucky what happens next, because the car almost jumps on him in a way.
I didn't even think of that. Oh, yeah.
Like,
But he takes that fire hydrant right off.
yeah. At what point do you think he like really? Because
you can tell when he hits the blinker. I like when his blinker goes on. That's when you realize he has no control. That's the panic moment. when he hits the blinker, he's like, "Fuck."
He hung on way too long though, even for that. If that was his moment,
because it's your truck, man. I would hang on too, because I'd be like, "There's got to be a way.
I'm gonna figure it out.
There's got to be a way." He looks like he's trying to like it's a skateboard. You know?
He's leaning into it.
That was so stupid.
I love it.
You know, the whole thing is to like,
he deserves it. I wish it fell on his head.
your alignment needs to be perfect to do that. His alignment clearly is not.
The car's destroyed.
That tree, that telephone pole's.
Yeah,
that street is curved. Telephone pole's there.
That was wonderful. I saw that a while ago.
Also, you're supposed to
it.
ghost ride your car at like what it goes and drive. You're not supposed to get it up to 25 and then
do
ride it.
But he'd seen those videos.
Yeah.
He needed to step it up.
Dude, that's as someone who's got an estimate for like a small dent in my hood that like I can still drive on.
That's totaled.
That is totaled, yeah.
Hopefully his insurance company didn't see the video.
I was gonna say you have great video evidence of how you're a complete asshole.
Let's keep rolling with her.
Oh, this was sweet.
Good.
Joe Rogan retweeted this yesterday, but I'm now. All right, before we watch this, can you just go back for a second? I just want to see. This is like a little insight into my mind. So I saw that Rogan retweeted this, and you gotta go out for a second full screen to well, let's look at this chick on. Look at her, Meredith Frost. This is the photographer. Imagine being a woman.
She's an ABC. I follow her, I think.
Imagine being a woman in the world who, like, you're just trying to be a film producer and a photographer, and, like, this is the chick you're competing with. She's like she's beautiful.
She could be a model.
She could be a model or an actress. She's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I was like, this chick is like a fucking television show character. Like, oh yeah, I'm a producer and a photographer, and
and I'd watch that show.
And I like cool shit. Like, this is the kind of chick. This is why guys never get engaged. Like, as a chick like this, because you see chicks like this out in the world, and you're like, I don't know anyone like that. My girlfriend's nothing like that.
Yeah.
I need to wait around until I meet a chick like this. Let me tell you, people at home, she's not even real.
Well, no, she's real, but you don't deserve it. That's it.
Yeah, there's one guy. She's gonna marry
there's someone out there.
She's gonna date. Yeah, she's gonna date.
It's just not you.
She's gonna date like Odell Beckham. You know, like that's who she's gonna date. And then she's gonna eventually settle down with like Elon Musk's like best friend.
Yeah, or a clone,
or something like that, or a clone of Elon Musk that has. You see, Elon Musk has had a ton of plastic surgery and hair stuff. Did not know that either. It's like before he got. As soon as he got famous, he did it.
It makes sense.
Kind of made me sad though. Jaw and stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe he's not the genius I thought he was. It's kind
Yeah.
of vain for a genius.
He does a lot of dumb shit too.
But anyway, enough about Meredith Frost and how dope she is. I just thought that was. I love it when people who are that pretty don't do like show business.
The easy thing, or just like marry a dude.
Yeah, you know. Or even like just use it like I'm gonna sing or dance or.
Yeah.
Anyway, look at Elvis doing karate.
I would if I was her. I'd use the hell out of that.
I'd probably be a lesbian porn star if I looked like that.
No, you don't even have to do that. She's too high level for that.
Dude,
I like it. So we're watching Elvis just fuck people up.
He's so good.
It's so legit. Yeah, Rogan loves these videos.
Well, he loves bad martial arts.
Yeah.
I was trying to I was trying to explain to like a few times why. That's why Rogan hates the WWE. People
I don't think he hates it.
I think he kind of hates.
He thinks it's silly.
He definitely does not respect pro wrestling.
No.
He doesn't even respect like I think he respects that they get hurt.
Yeah,
but I
and
think
how tough they are.
I think he
definitely
thinks the
does
whole
that.
thing is like a foolish endeavor.
Oh, 100%.
And
But
people have tried to kind of like on his podcast, but Joe. But I can tell it's like it's not that he disrespects wrestling; it's that he respects fighting so much
more
that he sees pro wrestling.
Yeah.
And I'm totally just talking like
no.
out
Yeah,
of my ass.
I think you're right.
But as someone who's listened to a lot of that podcast and just this is the way I see it, I think he has such a high level respect for fighting that when he sees stuff like this or WWE stuff, he's just like, dude, that's just mockery.
Yeah, and he respects it on the level that this is people's lives.
Yeah.
Like that, like you can really.
Yeah, he looks. Yeah, he's
Like,
like
this
one of
is
those
like-
guys,
Like a
gun guy who like you're showing him like, man, this cool.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
so-
Yeah, I can change my TV.
Yeah, buy mine. You know, I mean, I guess I can be like that with comedy. I can be kind of a snob about comedy.
Yeah,
you know?
it's a little snobbish.
Like that
but,
Neil
but
Brennan
it's
thing.
respect also.
Let's fucking trash Neil Brennan for a second. I'll do it. Burning Bridges with Will Noonan. But I was just like, that to me was just not. Actually, it breaks our mission statement, so I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, fuck that.
Next quote.
Next quote.
Next
Linda.
thing. That's anytime we're about to break the mission statement,
Yeah.
we go to Linda.
What is this one? I didn't see this one.
Linda Miller's here to save us. Did we get anything in the chat, by the way, before? I did say we were going to check
We do
that.
have a couple things. Here we go. Matt Horn loved your OP parody.
Yeah. I love
What
that.
are your thoughts on the Louis audio? Will's done that on another show, and he's still waiting on it for it to come out. So, what is your thoughts on the Louis audio?
Oh yeah, that's gonna be coming out.
That'll be out.
I did an interview with Vox.
Vox. Okay, Vox.
Vox is I know.
I don't know. I don't think you should have done that.
I probably shouldn't have. I went against my better instincts. I don't think it's not like we spoke to Will Noonan about this.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be
yeah.
in a group. Of,
Yeah. So you'll be 8 quote.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I also I focused it on comedy and like the X's and O's of comedy. I didn't get into.
Yeah.
But I know Vox, but I truly was like, all my instincts were to not do it, but they were all cowardice.
Yeah.
They were all like, this could backfire. This could like make me look bad. I'm like, this is also why comedy is dying because people are just
It's a good
too
point.
afraid. What do I have to lose?
Yeah.
But she did quote she was like, you said on your podcast that, and I was like, oh God, like she's here to interview me about things I've said on my podcast. She's probably expecting.
Does that make you nervous though? 'Cause
Makes me super nervous.
what the hell did you say? That's what I'd be thinking. What did I say on any of these things?
Yeah, no, then she goes like, she said, you said the woman who didn't hang up the phone like should go fuck herself. I'm like, well. I'm sure I said that at the end of like I did feel bad like to hear it like that, but I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, LOL, like it's like a comedic rant. I was like, what I'm
Exactly.
saying is to put her in the same camp as like someone Bill Cosby raped kind of takes away from like
Yeah.
the Bill Cosby thing.
Yeah.
You have to like play mental chess.
It's sad though. You have to lay out. This was my intent.
Yeah, and I'm not Kevin Hart, man. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like that's the thing. Like
Exactly.
I'm transferring money from savings to checking because I'm taking an Uber to the Celtics game later. So don't like go digging through my fucking podcast.
Flat Cat said, "Dudes." So welcome, Flat Cat. She's tuning in on every one. So that thank.
She's the best.
That's a big thank you.
She was also at my show
Oh, very cool.
over the weekend, Friday. We took a pic together. She's like a celebrity in her own right. I bet Rob Saul has like a segment about Flat Cat.
Rob Saul just said, "How much did that run you?" LOL. I'm not sure. what the contents of that was. So,
What run?
That was 20 minutes ago, so I have no clue.
Oh, who knows?
Sorry.
Oh, the prostitute.
Oh.
I know what Rob's interested in. It's like $100 or something.
I never heard that story. I like that.
Yeah, I don't tell the story very often. It was not a great night. It was cold. It was like March or February. It was on one of those like cold nights, and I had just been in like I had just been like working with some comedians who were like big into hookers.
All right.
I won't like say who they are, but they're kind of open about it. But I was like, they were like talking about it all weekend. And I was kind of remember thinking like, man, this is kind of like a comedic. The only time I'd ever done it, I was like almost blacked out drunk in Montreal.
Yeah.
So I didn't really remember. And I was like, maybe this is like something I should get, like something I could get into. I don't know. You know me.
I'll be a prostitute.
Bowling, you know what I mean? I get into shit.
Yeah.
So like, maybe it'd be fun. It was a long time ago, but one night I smoked like this crazy good weed. It never happened, but I was just like animalistically horny, and I was like, it was
horny
like
goat weed.
It was like 1 or 2 in the morning, and I was like, I'm looking up a Jack Shack online, and I'm going.
Wow.
And I did it, and
it's that easy. You just look it up.
it was then. It was that
okay.
thing, back
Yeah,
page.
yeah.
That was the thing. I had the
Yeah.
knowledge of this thing. These guys were talking about back page, and I was like, and I looked it up, and it was like. It was actually when I was living. It was when I was living in Milton, right? And I was in the city, and I saw that there was one like right on my route home.
Oh wow! So why not?
Right?
Yeah.
But let me tell you, that was one of the most heavy ATM trips of my life. Getting the cash out.
Yeah, I can only take $200 at a time. So.
Yeah. Getting the cash out was like heavy. It was probably 5 or 6 years ago. I remember it was like right after a bad breakup, and it had been a long time since I'd even really gone on a date. Like it was like a few months, and I was just kind of like, but it was funny. Right after that, it was a funny experience too. Like I remember like kind of giggling about on my way out the door, like what the fuck, you know? Like whoa. The other part of the story is like I get in my car. I start it, and a cop drives right by me and looks at me dead in the eye.
He knows. He knows what that house of shame is.
Yeah, you know, but I was
House
like,
of the Rising
it would
Sun.
be so me to get arrested like the one time I do it. But it was all very, I think the thing people don't understand was I've also gotten probably a dozen legitimate, normal massages in my life at like massage, like brightly lit massage places. It had the exact same vibe. It's not like,
oh really?
She doesn't.
So it's business.
They don't romance you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Not for like.
They're not like,
more
oh,
money.
you sexy like man, and la la la. It's just like sit down. They start to massage you, then they start to jerk you off, and then they're like, you want a blowjob, and you're like, who says no to a blowjob? But it's all very like
I'm not a cop.
casual and kind of like.
Yeah, it's a business.
But I didn't feel good after I remember calling the exact same guy who kind of inspired me to do it like 2 days later. And I was like, I don't feel good about this. I was like, I can't shake this like weird, bad feeling. He was like, that means you're a good person. He was like, it's probably good. You won't become an addict of this stuff. But I think it was like you said, it was like Catholic stuff. Because I even talked to like, I remember like I felt guilty about it, and I talked to a couple of my buddies about it, and they were like, what are you feeling? Like they were all surprised that I felt guilty. They were like, knowing you, this doesn't seem like something you would feel guilty about. And I was just like, I don't know. It was the first time in my life I was just like, but you know, another thing, this is pretty personal, but I remember thinking I felt just the same level of bad after like totally consensual, like non-paid for sexual experiences too. Like, you know what I mean? So I was like, maybe I just have.
It's just you.
Maybe it's just me. I just have hang-ups, you know?
Yeah. It easily could be. What's this one? What's this video?
There's Paul doing his job. Let's get Will off this weird prostitution angle.
Do you remember what this third one is? I didn't see this one.
This one was not as bombastic as the other two, but this was a kind of viral. This made it to a lot of things this week. This guy who has a really cool house built this into it.
He's crazy.
One of the things,
he's fucking crazy.
He's crazy, but I was like, this is one of those things you could never do if you had kids.
Alien abduction
They would
room.
destroy it.
Yeah, because your kids would already be taken away by the state.
Yeah,
No,
your kids would destroy this. Someone on Reddit said like spiders would just like make it their home.
I can see if you ever go crazy, Will, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna be doing stand-up comedy to this.
I have told people that. I always think of that if that last. You know how the people like have that fantasy of being the only person in the world.
Yeah.
I always say I'd fill Boston Garden with like mannequins and I'd do comedy every night.
Like really killed the night.
That would be like I'd spend a year hauling mannequins into
setting up a laugh sound system.
Yeah, setting up like the lights and my name and everything, and then I'd just do shows every night.
Like you had the time.
Oh, you'd have time. You have like a little.
I like the thing too. You said like when people always say, "What world, like fantasy world, would you want to live in?" You'd pick like Elder Scrolls or Oblivion. You'd do all like quest stuff. By the end, you're just being in a tavern doing comedy.
Oh yeah, I always say that. People always. Yeah, people are like, "What would you?" My dream would kind of be to live in like one of those worlds, like Oblivion or Skyrim or The Hobbit or Game of Thrones, kind of like those sort of. I like that.
Yeah.
Like sort of candlelit world.
Yeah.
Is the big draw. But yeah, I always say like I'd start out like with the sword and I'd be trying to go on adventures, but it would be like so quick. Like I always think it'd be like 2 months that I'd be like in a tavern like telling jokes.
Yeah. Setting up shows.
It even happens when I play Fortnite. I immediately go in front of in the lobby. I go in. You know when everyone's like loading in.
You go in front.
I immediately started standing in front of all those people, facing them and doing like things for them. And I didn't even realize I was doing it until I'd been doing it for like a couple of days, and I was like, man, I'm kind of doing like bits for these people as much as I can.
I'll end up and shoot them, so I don't know what that means. I'm just like,
ever since I got that emote, ever since I got the meditation one, I just spray this old spray on the ground and I meditate in the middle and I like wait for people to interact with me and I watch what they do, and
it'd be me just hitting you with whatever the thing is.
Some people bow to me. I have tons of pictures on my phone of people bowing. This one kid was like, little kids say little kids in that game will like compliment you on your emotes. Like,
really?
Like, dude, that was sick. That was so sick.
Great job.
Like, great emote.
That combination.
Love it.
You're like a
love
DJ.
Your costume. Yeah, dude, I love that skin. Like, great combo. Like, they're into this. So funny.
So weird.
I'm into I bought 2 skins, by the way, this week.
Did you? I don't think I've ever.
I only did it because I've been playing the game so much that I actually started to get like bored with the skins.
With what you're looking at. Yeah.
So I'm like, I want to get new skin, and like skins were coming out that I just didn't want. So then like I got 2 came out yesterday. I was like, I'm like 50-50 on both of these, so I'll get them both. But I don't. I also came to this weird epiphany where I think nothing of spending like $50 to $60 on dinner for me and my chick.
Yeah.
100, but like on a nice night, it's like 100. But
yeah,
like
but
on
a regular
dinner, it's like
easy.
$50-$60.
Yeah.
70 for 2 people. I think nothing of that. I mean,
so what's a couple of skins, especially the amount of hours you put into Fortnite? You've gotten a lot of enjoyment out of
like
it.
You eat food and it's a one-time deal.
Yeah.
And it's good and everything.
It's a good point.
But or a bag of weed, $70. Like, it's get a lot out of it. It's 3 or 4 or 5 days. It's like a skin that you're gonna use, even if you only use it like 10 times. It's kind of like,
that's true.
I sort of started to see it differently. I'm like, man,
I look at it a little different because I don't like where it's going because they gouge people too much. So I never buy any of that stuff.
Fortnite is such a money machine.
It's bad for gaming, I like it too, and I know you like it, but it's bad in a sense that it only took them 2 months to program that level initially. It takes people 5 years to make a AAA game.
It's a new thing.
So no one's gonna want to do that 5 years.
I mean, that was kind of already happening though, right? With like PUBG.
Oh, it's definitely already been happening. Yeah, it's 100% been happening, but it's not a good thing because like the games at their best can be an art form. They really can. Like they can be like
100%
a great storytelling medium, like
Skyrim.
Yeah.
That new Spider-Man game I hear, Red Dead 1 and 2.
It's supposedly really good. I haven't touched
Red
any
Dead
of them
1
either,
is
but
an artistic game.
I like the whole Uncharted series. I thought that was amazing.
I gave that as an answer, and
yeah,
thing recently. There, that's been my
I
new kind
love
of
it.
answer when people are like, "What's your favorite movie or
Yeah.
book?" Sometimes people ask me what my favorite thing to do while high is, and then when I say play video games, they're like, "Really?" I'm like,
What?
I'm like,
That's
softball
a pastime.
question, softball answer.
Yeah.
But they're like, "Really?" I would have thought. I'm like, it's
What
the
else?
best thing. I'm like, it's like an interactive film that you're
Yeah.
fully immersed in.
Yeah.
And I've been playing a lot of Fortnite high, and sometimes I don't even like play it. Like I don't kill people.
You're just
just explore.
experiencing it. Yeah.
Just explore the world.
Yeah.
And Fortnite really,
You like that they add stuff constantly.
I
too.
love that. I love that it changes.
Yeah.
I do think though, negative thought, and I've said this to you privately. I don't think I said it on here though. I do think there are hypnotic aspects to that game that like are real. That are not. I don't even mean like it's like it hypnotizes you.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean it's
They've done some like literal testing and figured out colors.
research, testing.
Yeah.
Like that game pleases you.
It's so smooth too. It's,
The ba-doop, like the sounds,
The noises.
the
Yeah,
storm
yeah,
and
yeah.
the plane makes are
yeah.
like the same kind of sounds you see when you go to see a hypnosis show, like and the guy's trying to hypnotize
Even
people.
some slot machines hit the same noises. Yeah.
So I'm like,
So you know what
is,
they're doing.
This is, and the timing of it and the weird, like you don't need to be really hearing that when you're when you're like running around. You don't really need all these cues that are there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the colorfulness of it is.
It's
I don't
doing
know if that's
something.
necessarily as like nefarious as hypnotic.
I think
audio
it's
sounds.
no. I don't think it's like hypnotic, but I think that's done to make it attractive to more people. Like
Yeah.
older people can play it. Kids are gonna like it.
Yeah, they definitely.
It's
I don't know.
simplistic controls.
But I think people are now like are getting into conspiracies with that, like
Yeah.
like the whole like if you have a high kill rate,
those are funny when you told me those.
your shields don't work as well.
I've thought that about games before, but it was when I was like obsessing with them and like like being crazy and like
Yeah.
it's not fucking there. You're like, they're doing it to me.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a fixed system.
Every now and then,
Black
that's
choppers.
how gambling. I've thought that.
Yeah,
at
yeah.
poker.
People
I've thought
do-
that at
people do
poker
with
before.
that
You
too.
start thinking like your idiot friend is cheating you.
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
this guy couldn't cheat me in poker if he desperately wanted to.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's fucking me. Son.
Definitely doing it. It's Coca-Cola in that Jack Daniels bottle.
But I've watched a little bit. I've watched some Fortnite streams, and I've watched some stream highlights.
Yeah.
And I followed Tfue a little bit because
Not even.
I got into this guy, Mr. Beast, who's like a YouTuber. This whole bag of bloody grapes, as I said earlier.
I shouldn't want to make fun of them because we're literally doing a YouTube
we're
show.
doing a YouTube
but
show.
I want to.
Like a YouTube show no one really watches either. They
And
have
they're
like millions.
Yeah.
It's also, how do we get like, when I'm like looking through live YouTube, it seems like there's just like 7 or 8 or 9 shows on that are live.
Oh, like illegal. Oh no, you're saying.
Like live, you know?
Oh yeah.
I think we just got to keep doing them. And then we'll get that push up.
Yeah.
I just don't know if we're
There's
getting...
some kind of YouTube conspiracy, Will.
Sometimes I wonder if my channel, like maybe we should start a new channel just for this show. Because
you can link channels
they
too,
can be
so
like,
we could do that.
oh, Will's...
Yeah, like if it's a new
It's
thing
an
and
old
you're
my channel's old, and it's like...
maybe that might be an
know, though.
idea. You can link channels somehow.
Then again,
though.
no, that's not necessarily true because plenty of people like
Yeah, I don't think
have
that's.
had channels in action for years and then they'd blow up.
Yeah, I don't think that's a thing.
But that's almost like the same as thinking.
That's what I was saying.
Fortnite
The
is-
YouTube conspiracy. That's what I was saying.
Well, it's the same as I was talking to a friend of mine about blackjack. They have those. My posture suffers so bad during this show.
That chair. It's
Yeah, it's
comfortable, but it's
comfortable.
like it's not good for you.
The YouTube. Video blackjack machines.
Yeah.
It's like, how does that machine not go, this guy's winning a lot? Dial
Yeah.
it back.
Yeah, it doesn't though. It doesn't. The way they do it, they program it like per day, and they know what they're gonna get every day. There's just a
So
there's a,
you're-
per-
yeah,
there's
so
a
you're
percentage
playing
pay.
into that.
Yeah, there's a percentage payout. You
So in a
might.
sense,
they
you-
don't care if that guy hits.
Yeah, they don't care if
'Cause
it's you or
a lo-
someone
They
else.
win. It's the long con. Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
They
But
get-
still, that would still make me think that's spread out and not like.
It's just random. It should be random. If it's not random, like it's very illegal. Like it has to be random number generated shit. Like
Yeah, that's true.
you know how like in like off the Vegas Strip, they like pays better than the Strip. they just dial up their things. Like I'll make up percentages, but say Vegas is like a 20% payout. They have 22% payout.
Yeah,
so like we get bigger payouts.
Bigger payout.
And that's all it is, just numbers. They still know what they're getting at the end of the day.
You can set to.
Yeah. Any of those like video machines, you can. This one's. Want to get back into this?
Yeah, let's get back into this.
Pretty funny. This is like a comeuppance thing.
This is the second. Did you hear about there's a UFC fighter who got mugged this week and
really
kicked the shit out of the guy?
That's funny. It's
Can't
similar
fuck
to
with
that.
chicks no mo.
No, this is a
R.
woman.
Kelly about to get fucking leg kicked.
Yeah. A woman ran into. She was being attacked, or that's not exactly spelled out, but she was being chased. It seems like she was either leaving or coming from her karate class, and she ran into it.
And she was on her way, so she wasn't like.
It's one or the other.
Exhausted.
But this guy basically just handled the guy came in. It's pretty amazing.
Oh, I read about this.
Yeah.
I'm happy to see this. Also, very smart of her.
Police say a man tried to kidnap her. She ran into the studio.
I didn't have it up in the video.
Followed.
There we go.
Sensei Randall Ephraim says he asked the man to leave, and he wouldn't.
So we got into a little pushing match.
Then he says it escalated.
We got into a little altercation.
Love this guy.
I escorted him out the door, and he began to go completely wild.
Ephraim says the man began punching cars in the lot, then getting into his own.
It's
He
like
started smoking or
cocaine-related
something.
thing.
The
They
class
figured
kept an
out.
eye on him until police arrived and arrested him. August Williams faces several
All
charges,
lumped up on the
including
head.
assault,
Yeah, look at those
attempted
scratches.
kidnapping,
That's a
resisting
drag
public
across the
officer.
ground. He's got the
class
look
couldn't
too of
have
like
handled it better.
I'm.
It's a
He's
perfect
still
example
cocky,
of,
even
you know,
though
when
he's
things go
cuffed and
right.
taking
Police
the
also
photo.
charged Williams for possession of drugs.
He was definitely under the influence.
That's the quote right there.
Would have been attacked.
Yeah, drugs, man. They
Ephraim
don't
says
fucking.
he also charged Williams for possession of drugs.
He was definitely under the influence.
Definitely. Where's that? Michigan? North Carolina. North Carolina.
Yeah. It's just fun. Like, it's fun when things like that happen. That could have been a terrible story, but it's just like, now it's just a nice story.
It's funny. Yeah, I heard North Carolina in the winter is rough. A rough place
Is
to
it?
be.
I heard a
it's
ton
a
of people
tourist
who
state.
moved down there, and they're all like iffy people.
I heard it's like a tourist state. Like, you know how like the Cape, it's like a whole state like that.
Yeah.
where, like,
I can
gets
see
real
that.
nice in the summer.
Yeah.
And then people leave, and but I also heard you could get like a fucking mansion there for like $75,000.
Very cheap. That's why everyone I know who moved down there, it's like so
I do. I
cheap.
know people from Boston. Have
You
moved
sell
there.
your Boston house, your inflated Boston prices, and you live in half the
The
house.
guy moved down there though. He was dead 2 years later.
Yeah. Exactly.
From like natural causes.
Oh, really?
Just from like being
Everyone I know is like a druggie. So
Well, it's true though. He had like 10 acres and like a fucking jet ski and like, but he didn't jack shit and then he died. It was weird. You ever tell someone like, I'm sorry for your loss, and they're like, I'm not. Like, you know what I mean? You're like, I was just trying to be nice. Now we're in this.
yeah. Well, no, that I hate. The other thing is you ask someone like, how you doing? You just walk by someone, and then like it's like
they actually tell
they
you.
tell you, and you're like, oh man,
Yeah, I hate that
I
too.
fell for it.
Yeah, that's why I stopped asking that shit. That's my other thing too is to answer questions directly. Like if someone goes,
Oh yeah.
"Hey, what's up with this?" Someone's like, "Why do you have your windshield wipers? Like, why are they thick like that?" I'd be like, "Oh, it's a different type of windshield wiper." That's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't like go, well, you see, the thing is, I like a certain type of window wiper. I got these here. I got these there. I used to have these. I just answer questions.
Yeah.
And you know what I've realized is people just ask more questions, but they don't like.
Yeah. But they get the point at
It's a
some
better
point.
way to have a conversation.
Yeah. So I think we're at the end. Are we over?
Yeah,
When do
we're
we
definitely
start?
over time. How many? We got any more stories? I still got
I
my
think
scratch ticket.
we went through everything.
All
So
right, let's do a scratch
did you
ticket.
scratch
and call
ticket?
it a day. I forgot to kind of tease it at the beginning, but they know, fans of the show, we get a
know.
scratch ticket every week. And
And if we win over a certain amount, we break everything.
if we win like $1 million, I think we
Yeah,
break
probably
stuff.
$1 million.
But yeah, I think it was $1 million. We're
Probably.
gonna start smashing stuff. But I do think it could be cool. Like one week we really like if you keep
could.
watching the show,
We
like
could.
one day we could be like, 10 grand. You know? This one I have a really good feeling about because it wouldn't scan. The guy was like, what the fuck? I can't get it. He took him like 10. He's like, I don't know. And I was like, dude.
Winners don't scan.
Saw that money. And so Paul's got the magical coin. Oh, caught it. Eventually, when like we're in season 2, I'll have like a camera, like I just stick
just there.
somewhere.
Yeah. We should do something like that.
Like a what are those things called? Overhead projectors.
Yeah. I don't think just like an overhead cam.
23, 4, 9, 7. How do we feel about those numbers?
I like 9.
Pretty good numbers.
9's a good number.
23, 4, 9, 7. All right. We have not had a winner yet. I think we've had like the
Yeah, I think you got like your
break
money
even.
back, which is worse. I'd rather lose.
I kind of we're not doing good because
It's a similar number.
similar numbers.
Yeah.
we got one number off here.
That's what I like that when you do this because I'm learning like your little,
yeah.
the little things you got programmed into it.
So our numbers are 4, 7, and 23. We got a 5. We got a 6. We got a 22. We're fucked.
I don't like seeing it when it's like you have a 12 and then it is a 2. So it's like they use that number. They're not going to hit you with another 2.
Yeah, we got an 8. We got a 9. I got no hopes. Well, we gotta lose.
Well, that's
We gotta
the
lose
end of
this
that
week.
chapter.
This isn't the week. After we always talk about being millionaires and winning it. We're gonna do it one week on this show. There was speaking of Mr. Beast, so I was talking about earlier. He did one where he bought like, I think he spent 30,000 on scratch tickets to see like what they would win.
What was it?
They lost a lot of money.
Yeah, you probably won like $2,800 or
Yeah,
something.
so, like we win something.
Yeah,
You know,
you're
win-
definitely gonna. It's the same as the slot machine. There's a programmed payout. They know. It's not like it's not random.
One of my best friends just won 10 G's. So
that's what's doing
that
this.
maybe the best advertising
It's just like
you
knowing
can do
someone.
is having like people, because when your friend wins, you're like,
Yeah.
Like I've been playing twice as much. I actually am starting to think. I kind of think the people at Cumbies are like, don't get too deep into that. Like I'm seeing it in their
Have you
eyes.
started to go to like another store yet?
Nah. But I buy them. I've always bought them like maybe once a month. And now
Yeah.
I'm like buying maybe twice, 3 times a month. So.
That's not bad. It's funny
problem.
though. The people are so comfortable at your Cumberlands though. Like they would stage your intervention.
Oh, they
would
would.
like.
They worry about me when I go on the road. When I come back, they're like, oh,
Where were you?
where are you? Yeah. Well, thank you guys for watching. Go sign up for Compound Media and watch
That's
Premium Show.
Yeah, we're a little late,
We're a
so they
little
already
late.
started.
That's too bad. But
Go.
yeah. Thank you guys for watching. We'll be back next week.
Bye. Oh, got the wrong mic.
I got some phone calls there.